Hi friends, it's pasta night and we're making orzo pasta. What's orzo pasta? Orzo pasta is a small diamond-shaped pasta and it's typically used in soups, salads, and side dishes. And most people think of pasta just in savory dishes. But today we're going to go beyond that and make a dessert pasta dish. It's called Rosa Marina, and it's an old time recipe that I'm going to ramp up a little bit, and you'll just have to watch to see how it turns out. Hi, friends, it's Doreen with Back to Home, and today we are going to start getting this salad together. So, right now in the pot, I have the orzo pasta cooking, and that's about 9 to 11 minutes. If you want it more al dente, which it soaks up a lot of the liquid, probably closer to 9 minutes. I think we're going to shoot for 10. I did set it for 9 just to see where it's at. It's slightly salted water. You're not going to heavily salt it like if you were going to make a sauce dish or something like that, or a salad. But you do want a little bit of salt in there. So Rosa Marina, this dessert, I remember when I was a kid. It was maybe done a little bit like an ambrosia. It's like an ambrosia, but it's with a orzo pasta. This was more popular back in the day, but I thought I would revive it again because I do these pasta series and I wanted to bring something different to you today. So we are gonna, let me go over the ingredient list. Of course, orzo pasta. You're gonna need a can of crushed pineapple. You'll need a can of pineapple chunks. You'll need a couple of cans of mandarin oranges. I've got two sizes. I've got, I think this is a 7 ounce. And I've got a 15 ounce. Yeah, 15 ounce. And, oh, 11 ounce. Okay. I didn't think it was that much. But that'll be fine. You can substitute some uh, fruit cocktail if you want. But we're going to be draining the juice and saving the juice. So let's go ahead. And you're going to need a strainer. And this salad is really pretty straightforward, not that hard, but it does take a couple of days because I need a big bowl to put all my mixed fruits in there. Because it's got to sit overnight for the filling to just really incorporate and flavor your pasta. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of dull. So you're going to just strain that pretty good and dump it in your bowl. And I'm going to do the bigger fruits first. And I know I'm blocking the way here, but I'm just using a measuring cup to... And let me know in the comments if you've ever had this salad before. I just thought this would be a fun way to kind of end up our summer with one of our pasta dishes. Now, here's a little tip that I do on my canned goods. I always wipe the top with a dishcloth and wipe it pretty good before I go and use my can opener and open it. Another ingredient in here that we're going to be using are cherries, and most recipes call for a maraschino cherry. I think I'm going to skip that and just use some regular, it's cherry season, or it's the end of cherry season right here. And I thought, why not use some fresh cherries? Really, I love dishes with maraschino cherries, but they're really not all that great for you. So, but it does give it a real pretty color too. So there's no judgment here if you use maraschino cherries, because I use that on different recipes too. But I try to use it sparingly for my most favorite recipes so that I have a limited amount. So we've still got a couple of minutes left to that pasta, to drain that pasta. And we're going to go ahead and cut up our cherries. Now, you need gloves if you're going to use these fresh cherries because there is a lot of juice there. And I've pitted about, I think I used about 30 cherries. And let me just show you how easy this is. Let me get a little bag. It's so easy to pit them yourself. If you don't have a pitter, which I don't, but I have this strong plastic straw, and I'm going to use that. Let me show you what I'm doing. I'm just going into the center of the cherry and spits right out. And the reason why I have gloves, because I don't want to stain my hands. So you just go down in the middle and push it out. Some of them come out real easy, some a little harder, but really it's not that hard at all. So I'm going to finish. I'm just going to do a few to show you what we do. That one came through real easy. Oh, I already did that one. That's why. I was like, why? That felt like no resistance. Why is that? That's because I already did that one. And there we go. And then we're going to cut these up. I'm going to set these aside because the pasta, we've got to check it. You definitely want to make sure you got a good eye on that pasta because you don't want it mushy. That will ruin your dessert. So my timer has gone off. Let's get a little bowl and just see where we're at. I had this on 9 minutes, the timer. And I have this in about 3.5 quarts of water. I think it's going to need a little bit. Let me get a spoon out of here. Oh, sorry. That wobble. Needs a good 1 minute, 1.5. We'll go for 1. A little too al dente for me for the salad. Oh, excuse me. All right, let's put this aside. Let's cut up our, oh, you know what? We don't need that bag, but we do need a little paring knife to cut the cherries. And we're just going to cut those up and put them, I'm going to cut them in half so you really kind of know what you have. Oh, I moved my camera and you're not in, it's not in the shot here. I said you'll want rubber gloves or something because this is really messy. I know back in my younger years, I made some homemade cherry pies and had to do a lot of these. And my hands were stained. It felt like a few days. All right, so that timer's gone off. We're going to get that strained. And it is a small pasta, so make sure you get a strainer or a colander that will withhold, that doesn't have big, huge holes because it might slip through. So I'm going to drain that and I'll be right back. It's fogging up my glasses. Ooh. Can't see. And we'll let that, any little extra water drip into that pan and we'll set that aside. Not on the burner though. Well, let's just finish up cutting up those cherries. And I like this, I wanted to do this dessert because I thought, you know, this is a great dessert for summer. It's nice, it's light, it's refreshing on those hot days. Now, it's kind of ironic. We have a picnic or a barbecue. Yeah, we're going to a barbecue tomorrow night. And it's like the coldest weekend of the summer. Here we are. It's still August, and I don't even know what it got to today. I think 60, or I don't even know. But it's cold. And I was like, I planned this to make this dessert, and it's like, by golly, I'm going to make it. But this is a great for a nice, refreshing, light dessert, and it's fabulous. I think you'll want to put this on your dessert rotation. All right, so let's mix that. And we need a really, now I think that looks pretty. What do you think? Let me show you. Let me get a little closer. I know I'm so far away. Isn't that pretty? And yes, those maraschino cherries just give it all nice brightness. And this is going to make a lot. So next we're going to make is our syrup, but I want to get a bigger bowl so we can add our pasta in there and let that start going there to mix our flavors. I think this bowl will work for mixing everything. And so this pasta is still pretty hot, but I want to get it in here with the fruit because I don't want it all to lump together. I'm going to give it a good stir because you can see it's lumping together a little bit. And I've checked out some different recipes. There's not really a whole lot of recipes out there for this, but some people put their fruit in some right away and some people wait. So I'm going to put it in there. I might wait just 5 or 10 more minutes because it is pretty hot. I don't want to cook the fruit, but I still want it in there when it's warm. But we know we've got this great big bowl, and I believe everything will work out in the end. Next step is we are going to beat a couple of eggs. We're going to make a nice little, it's almost like a pudding, but not quite. Just need 2 large eggs would be good. And we're going to beat those a little bit before we put everything to our mixture. And I'm going to put that heat on medium and give them a little beat. They're nice and incorporated. And we're going to pour in our juice into that. I guess that wasn't a good idea. Let's just pour it right in here and whisk that. That's making a mess. And we're going to use 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Now we're going to give it a good whisk. And it's like a light yellow, nice light buttery yellow. And we're going to keep whisking that a little bit, stirring it pretty regularly. You want, oh, can't forget sugar. We are using 3/4 a cup of sugar. I have raw sugar there, but you can use regular granulated sugar. We want that to dissolve in there. I'm going to let it sit. Let's put this away. We got space. Wipe up. You don't want to leave the kitchen. You don't want to leave the stove when you're doing this part, because you don't want to scorch it. I'm washing my hands. I don't think I really need my gloves on anymore because I'm not planning on cutting up some cherries. So one other ingredient to this dish, after you make the syrup filling or sauce, you are going to let that sit. You're going to pour it in over the pasta and the fruit. You're going to let that sit overnight in the fridge, and then a little bit before you serve it that same day, you're going to add Most recipes, well, all recipes that I saw use one tub of Cool Whip, and you certainly can do that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to make my own whipped cream, but I'm going to make more of a stabilized. I think I'm going to make a little bit of a cream cheese whipped cream, and that'll be nice and hearty. Because that's the thing about Cool Whip, it is more dense than like a light. If you made homemade whipped cream, that's really light, and I don't think that would hold up all that well. So that's what I'm gonna do, and that should work out. So I'm gonna keep working at this. Keep an eye on it. We'll be back when this is done. For tasting. So I simmered this down for about 20 minutes, 10 or 12 minutes on medium, right by the stove, stirring it. Put it down to medium low a little bit. Then near the end, I put it up a little bit just to get it the thickness I want. And I want you to take a. This smells so yummy. So this is going to thicken up too on your. But it's about this consistency. It's like a sauce. It's a fruit juice sauce. We use the juices from the pineapple and the mandarin and oranges, and a little bit of egg, a little bit of flour, and sugar. And we're going to let that cool just a little bit. But we did let our pasta sit that whole time while we were cooking the sauce. So it's warm to the touch. And I'm going to go ahead and add my fruit into there right now. And I thought I heard that you, when I was checking out on this video, if the juice settles in, which it has in the bowl, because it's been sitting, if you could see, without me spilling it. Yeah, you can't probably, but there's still quite a bit of juice. So I'm going to use my strainer, slotted spoon. I don't know that it will really hurt it. Probably really won't. Because it's still going to release juice. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to dump that whole thing in because I'm like, it's going to release the juice even still. And that sauce is it's going to be very wet when we first do it, but by tomorrow morning, we are going to see something different. So I'm just incorporating this, getting it stirred in, the fruit. And right now you're probably thinking, Doreen, what in the world are you making? I'm not eating pasta and fruit. Believe me, with that sauce, you're going to like it. With the whipped cream. Now, these canned fruits that I used it in light syrup, or you can get it, I think, in its own juice. I try to do that, but I don't always pay close attention to what I'm picking up, but I try to. I'm getting better at it. So I've got that thoroughly mixed, and we can put this in the fridge right now because we're going to let our sauce cool down. I'm going to let it cool down 20 minutes before I add it to this. So I'm going to put some plastic wrap and put this in the fridge. And I'm going to double seal it because I don't want any other refrigerator flavors to get in there. And once I get this all stirred up, I'm going to put it in a more of a sealed type container. It's just this bowl is so big. I might have to put it into 2 bowls because I got so much here. And this, as you can see, this is a big dessert, so good for a great picnic. So we've let our sauce cool down a good 20 minutes or so. It's probably closer to a half an hour. Let's get a little taste. Ooh, it's yummy sweet. So now we're going to pour it over our pasta and our fruit. And I want to get all that yummy, so I'm going to get my spatula and scrape that out. And you can see it has a little thickness, but it's not like super thick like a pudding. So it's a sauce. All right, and let's stir that around. Oh my gosh, it's going to be incredible. I think this is going to soak up all, this pasta will soak up all this. I just want to stir it really good to get all that sauce incorporated right to the bottom of the bowl. And then tomorrow, we're going to let this sit overnight, and tomorrow we're going to add the whipped cream, and I might take a few maraschino cherries for the top for decoration. Or I might just make a little pretty topping with the whipped cream on top. I'm not sure, because when you look at it like this, I feel like it's like not way appetizing, but we are going to add the whipped cream, so that will look good, right? Whipped cream makes anything taste good and look good, and I gotta have a little taste, even though it's not quite ready. Yummy. Nice and sweet. Put this back in the fridge. And I might even transfer this to my sealed tight containers, but we'll do that later. So we will see you tomorrow with this salad and making the whipped cream. But for you, it'll be just like a blink of an eye. We are ready to whip our cream. So I'm going to make a little bit of a cream cheese whipped cream, using whipping cream, heavy whipping cream. I've got a 3/4 of a package of softened cream cheese, full fat. And I'm going to whip that up a little bit with a 1/2 cup of sugar. And let me make sure I don't splatter myself like last time. When I made a cake the last time, I had the wrong button up and I splattered myself with frosting. So let's not make that. So you're going to get this nice and whipped and creamy. It takes a couple minutes. I'm going to just, a little at a time, sprinkle in my sugar. You want that well incorporated. You want it to dissolve into the cream cheese. You see that? I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of orange extract. I want to keep that fruity flavor. I would have even preferred coconut extract, and I thought I had some, but I didn't. I thought, let's get the pineapple and everything and tropical, but this orange flavor will enhance it. A lot of times when I make this frosting, I will, or not frosting, this whipped cream, I will add vanilla and almond. That's great for like to dip strawberries. It's great for so many desserts. So you can go ahead and put the flavoring in now. We're at the end. Yeah, there's only a tiny bit left. No sense to waste. There's a few more drops left, so I go through a lot of vanilla. I keep saying to myself I'm gonna make my own vanilla extract. It's got to be cheaper. And let's use 1 teaspoon of the orange. Smelling good. We'll let that whip, and then we're going to add our heavy cream. So I've had this whipping about 2 or 3 minutes. It's well incorporated. I'm just going to take my spatula and scrape that down. You just want to make sure there's no like lumps or pockets of sugar there, but I think it's pretty incorporated. It tastes very creamsicle, of course. Yum. All right, now we're going to put that back on medium, and we're going to take, let's see, oh, there's my measuring cup. We're going to use like 1.5 to 2 cups of heavy whipping cream you can get in your dairy section. I'm going to put this on a higher speed so it's going to get loud. And we're going to slowly drizzle that in. If you're concerned about it splattering, you can put your little guard on there. It might actually splatter as we get higher, so let's just do that right now. I've made this whipped cream for years and years and years and years. And a lot of times when I'll bring desserts, people will like, oh, that's good. What is that? You know? And the key is whipping it enough, but not whipping it so much because we don't want butter. Just kind of doing a slow, steady stream. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the highest. It should give us a little bit of peaks there. Like, let's take a look at it. Yeah, it's almost there, really. So I think this is such a big batch. I am going to do another 1/2 cup of whipping cream. We only got a little bit left. All right, let it whip, and then we'll fold it into our Rosa Marina. We have our whipped cream all done. I'll let you take a good look at that. We've got some little bit of a peakage going on there. It's nice and firm and sturdy. So if we want to do something pretty on the top, we can. But mostly this is going to just give us a lot of flavor in our Rosa Marina pasta salad. So this has been soaking overnight. And if you remember how creamy it was, well, it soaked up a lot of the sauce that we put in there. Let's get a taste before we put the whipped cream. Nice and oh, that's so sweet. Not crazy sweet, just the like that bright citrusy. The whipped cream is going to make all the difference. So I have been wanting to use my pretty bowl, so we're going to use that because I just think it'll make our salad pop and look so inviting. And it's cold this weekend, but we're going to bring the sun with our bowl. And I'm going to go ahead and dump this in here. This is a huge salad. So this is really perfect for a large gathering. Because usually when you go to a picnic, there's more than one dessert. But if you are just having a little dinner party, see, like this is classic. Like I feel like it's a classic Italian yumminess. I'll have to do my research to see if Italians really serve this. Because like I said, I had to do a lot of research on this recipe because I remember it as a kid. And I know there's ambrosia, but I didn't want the ambrosia, which is the fruit cocktail with, and you notice, let me finish my thought. Fruit cocktail is, or ambrosia's fruit cocktail, little marshmallows. I know they use whipped cream, maybe pudding, I'm not sure. It's been a while since I had that either. And I made ambrosia one time for my grands. And they weren't like fond of it. Like I don't know, when we were kids, we used to love it. And you know, kids usually love marshmallows, but they weren't fond of it. So, but this I wanted to make because I remember this as a kid and I'm like, I want to not reinvent it, but I want to just have it and see what I can do with it. And it just really still tastes good with the Cool Whip, but if you want a little more natural, then we're going to do this. So I'm going to give it a good mix. Now, if you're having this at home, what I would do is take some of this and pipe it on the top. You know, you could put little dollops or whatever, or just put a coating and then put some of your maraschino cherries on top. But I'm not going to transport it like this. I'm really just doing this for you, but I'm going to bring this bowl there and then put it here because I'm trying to transport that in the car. But if you were going to serve this at home, you don't have to worry about it. The only thing you have to be concerned is, do you have space in your fridge till it's time? So let's give this a little test. You know what? I'm going to break out the maraschino cherries. I knew this would be probably happening. So I've got some with stems, and let's just try this. Now I've got a few hours till our party that we're going to. So this whipped cream is still going to soak in a little bit. And I'm going to pipe some pretty dollops of whipped cream. So let's put a little bit of this here in our bowl. And let's take a little bit of the whipped cream, so you can get an idea of what I'm going for. I'm going to go ahead and put some of these maraschino cherries on top of there, so that the presentation will be real pretty. So let's give it a try. Oh, that is so delightful. This is like a nice, refreshing, bright dessert. So don't go by the looks, because I feel like, you know what? It doesn't look all that appetizing. And I can remember having this as a kid. I I don't know that I remember what it looked like because kids are funny, right? Kids aren't willing to give things a try too much. Mm, go ahead and try that. This is so good. I could keep eating it. Like I said, I'm going to try to get some footage when we get to the place. I'm going to take a few minutes and show you what I did with the whipped cream on top. I don't want to do it now because I only have this much left. And yeah, this is going to go back in the bowl, back in this container so I have an easier transport. But I just wanted you to see it in that pretty bowl. And I'll do a final look at it completed. Okay, I hope you like it. Give it a try. All right, we're going to plan B. I found a metal uh, frosting tip. We're going to put it in a corner of I pre-clipped this storage bag, and we're going to just put that in place. And I usually fold my bag over like a measuring cup like this. This always works pretty good for me because it can be challenging getting the whipped cream in there. So you're going to put some of your whipped cream in there. Sometimes I don't put all of it at once, but I just want to show you. So I'm just going to squeeze that down into the tip, and hopefully it doesn't blow out the sides. Let's see if I can get it to. Otherwise, we'll have to go to plan B. All right. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's blowing out the side. I had to hold it a little bit, but if you can get a pastry bag, but this works too, and kind of that's what we're doing. And then we're going to put our cherries on there. And we'll have to taste it, of course, but we'll cover the whole salad, and it will look pretty. Pretty. Be back. Okay, where's the cherry? Yeah, I spin the chair around and actually, yeah. So, yeah. Let's see. So here's another way I served up our Italian Rosa Marina pudding, and I thought I would just give you some choices and see which one you like better. I think I like this individual serving. You can see the little bit of pink tinge you get from the cherries and the sauce, and put a little dollop of fresh whipped cream and maraschino cherry on the top. Just used some little bit of cocktail glasses, and here's a cute little creme brulee type of uh, containers I had here on the bottom, these shorter ones. So let me know, which way would you serve it? With that big yellow bowl and a big bowl? Or would you do the individual size? I feel like this is maybe a little more appetizing because people can see what it is. With the other one, I put the whipped cream on the whole top in the bowl, and I couldn't really see what it was. What would you pick? Well, friends, now it's up to you for you to give it a try. Are you willing to try this delicious sweet dessert pasta dish? My favorite was the little individual servings instead of the large bowl. That was fun too, but I think everybody will like their own little individual servings. So let me know what your experience is. Did you go ahead and make this recipe? Are you thinking about making it? Leave a message in the comments below, and I want to know what your experience was and your friends and family, how they like it. It's a keeper. Yummy. See you next time.